maisha yaliyo na raha, na ukaniahidi maisha bila mashaka. Ni nini ilitendeka baada ya ndoa? Ni nini ilitendeka baada ya kupowewana? Kila siku mimi nilimuomba mwenye anipe mume atakaye nienzi. Ikawaje vigumu kunipa lako penzi, when you promised that I would be your one and only lady. Aheriga, amanyiga, agombiga. Aheri. Oh, uliniahidi mapenzi, unienzi oh sheri, na mimi nikakuahidi mapenzi wenye faraja na dhiki. Ni vipi sasa sikuelewi? Shida sio masikini dadi, mapenzi pilipili, tena kageuka shubiri. Lakini bado nakupenda, sitawahi kuacha, tufurahie pamoja, hata kama kwa bodaboda. Bado nakupenda, sitawahi kuacha, tufurahie pamoja, hata kama kwa bodaboda. Ninakuenzi mpenzi, ninakuenzi my baby. Stay with me and our family.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio. Power Radio. Power up.
Wale unisikia, wale unisikiza. Wale unisikia, wale unisikiza, wale unisikia. Wale unisikiza, wale unisikia. Isio kismat, mimi niko grind wakidoz. Pia naomba so pia usimain nikiflows. Ni shukrani narudisha kwa Wanjiko Kimani. Simgemjua pia nyimgempea shukrani. Kwa pilka niko, jukuna mali mina dai kufika. Na focus kwa compass ukiona nimeficha. Sio na macho pekee unaweza ona visions. Officials pekee wananijua initials. Get rich or die poor. Niko na phobia kurudi mali nilikuwa. Niku lonely at the top ni sawa inakubalika. Jukule down inakuanga was mara tisa. Kuna wale unisikiza, kuna wale unisikia. Kudedi bila purpose, no kitumia ufea. Nikiamka kesho, bado nakimbia. Na nikilala leo, bado pesa inaingia. Wale unisikiza, wale unisikia. Kudedi bila purpose, no kitumia ufea. Nikiamka kesho, bado nakimbia. Na nikilala leo, bado pesa inaingia. Wale unisikiza, wale unisikia, wale unisikiza,
Sikia.
wale unisikia. Unapanda mahindi, mi napanda maembe, vile uget ndio tofauti yangu na wewe. Kandula ikutoshi, mwenyewe mpatie itamtosha. Kudhanusha nisoma page mbili ndio makosa. Ni sawa tuko equal, lakini ujue yonoma iko, na hivyo ndio itabaki, nitakuwa mpaka kifo. Mungu amenipa kakupa, ndo bado anaweza kunyang'anya sare pupa. Nadai ku-attain, nashindwa ku-maintain. Hii pleasure champagne, ni pressure na pain. Kigundua ni mlima, ndo mna complain. Fortune si promise, jume wife. Nadai ku-attain, nashindwa ku-maintain. Hii pleasure champagne, ni pressure na pain. Kigundua ni mlima, ndo mna complain. Fortune si promise, kuna wale unisikiza, kuna wale unisikia. Kudedi bila purpose, no kitumia ufea. Nikiamka kesho, bado nakimbia. Na nikilala leo, bado pesa naingia. Wale unisikiza, wale unisikia. Kudedi bila purpose, no kitumia ufea. Nikiamka kesho, bado nakimbia. Na nikilala leo, bado pesa naingia. Wale unisikiza,
Sikia.
wale unisikia. Wale unisikiza,
Sikia.
wale unisikia. Kwa upepo nyuma yangu na sio mate kwa uso. Love no vaccine na ugonjwa ni very crucial. Zedha wacha muendelee, si wote tuko na choices. Sikiza the main take kwa roho, chorea the voices. Kijua kile najua, utawacha kufananisha mwezi na jua. Kuna vile utakuwa usipokuwa. Wisdom na favor ndo kitumia uomba. Saya dua.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to She Talks. My name is Muthoni Gitao. It's Monday. We survived a whole other week. We survived the weekend as well. This is She Talks and you're listening to Power Radio. I hope you had a lovely, lovely weekend. I feel like my weekends are becoming... They're not doing what they're supposed to do. And I think it's also because I am not used to being in the office for most of the week. So I think I had liberties with my weekends where it's like it didn't really matter that much. I'd be like, tuko sawa tu hapa hakuna mambo mob. It's one thing, then I can relax at any time. Sometimes I remember there's a time where I used to take Monday as my day off, but I need to adjust my life a little bit. But welcome to another week, another show, another friend time about to happen, to be experienced. I am excited for today's show. There's a lot of stuff we're going to talk about later on in the show. I would want us to have a little conversation about reproductive abuse. That will be in the second half of the show. This first half of the show, we're going to look at some things that happened over the weekend. And we're going to talk about a couple of things that really don't sit right with me. But yeah, unfortunately, there's been a lot of death this past weekend, and that's quite sad. And I feel like there's been a lot of loss. We're experiencing so much loss. And sometimes I don't know what to do with those feelings. I don't know if I'm on my own, but sometimes I honestly don't know what to do with those feelings. But we're going to discuss all that. Maybe talking is what we can do with the feelings. We're going to discuss all that during the show. So yeah, remember to follow us on socials. We're available at Power Radio. That is PAWA Radio. That's on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Yeah, we're not dancing though, but we're on that clock app. And you can also, share your thoughts using the hashtag #SheTalks on Power Radio. For now, let's listen to Pretending by Brandy Minor.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Wengi wana uchungu, walingiza baridi, mjujifanyaga danda. Sidhani sishiki, lazima nitaprove. Chaguo langu mziki. The truth is that they really don't care. Everything about them, faking when you're there,
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
That was Brandy Minor with Pretending. I kind of like that song because it has a feeling of like you can jam and vibe to it, but then also if you listen to the messaging, it's like, I clock what you people been doing and I do not appreciate. Over the weekend, a lot of things have happened, and I also just got one of the discoveries this morning, and then I logged onto Twitter and I was so shocked that Rita Tinina passed away, and I was like, oh my god, like what's happening? I didn't know that because the only person that I knew had passed on over the weekend was Brian Shira. Brian Shira is or rather was, a content creator who rose to fame after being a witness during a car accident in Nakuru, and he was interviewed by a TV station and people really liked him, so he started creating content on TikTok, and that's how he rose to fame. And unfortunately, he passed away over the weekend through a hit and run. There's claims that he was inebriated, and there's been stories about what happened. But the thing that I want to talk about, um, as we do our weekend roundup for today's show, I actually want to talk about people's behavior around people dying, especially when people die in such gruesome manners. And I've never understood this tabia that Kenyans have of taking photos and then going to share them online. I'm like, honestly, what is your problem? You as a person who does that. When a road accident happens, people will show up, and the first thing they do is just start taking photos and post them on social media with zero regard for people who, one, haven't even been notified that these people have passed away. Two, zero concern for like just this person's dignity. I'm like, why do you behave that like people don't deserve dignity once they pass on? There's still a level of dignity that you have to show to someone because of that. There's a couple of people, I don't know how many they are, but there's people who went to the city morgue and took photos of this young man's body and decided to plaster them all over social media. And I'm like, in all honesty, why would you, like, what do you gain from that? Why would you do that? What do you gain from posting those images? Because it's like, we've also seen it. There's certain aspects of things where it's like, just don't do it, please. Not just because of the fact that, like, one, it's a very distasteful thing to do because you're not considering all the people who this would affect. I'm imagining whenever I see people do that, and I imagine myself, the way I'm just like randomly scrolling on socials, and maybe something has happened to, say, a family member of mine, and I'm completely unaware because maybe even the cops haven't had enough time to come and even pick these bodies and take them to the morgue and find the next of kin and have them come identify the bodies. A random stranger on the road, nikwe tuko, and then someone has retweeted and it has ended up on my timeline. And maybe you scroll and you look at it and like, oh my God, this is someone who I hold close and dear to my heart. And this is how I'm seeing and this is how I'm finding out. I'm like, I don't understand why people don't consider the repercussions of doing that. It's such a terrible thing to do. And also, if you want to honestly just share that someone has passed, there's so people have like a lot of amazing photos of them. Share them when they're happy. You don't have to, like, why are you so comfortable sharing the image of someone's lifeless body and you don't even know if their family has been notified? Even like when people started talking about this on socials, because apparently it happened in the early hours of the morning. When people started talking about it online, there was all this. It's like, I even saw someone post there was a video, which I think was a video of Brian from before, where there'd been rumors or something. And when I saw that, I was like, so why are people lying? Because in all honesty, I thought it was a video he'd posted where he was like, hey guys, I'm alive. It's not Nini. And the fact that even the family had to come forward and say, hey, guys, uh, he's truly gone. It's not cloud chasing or whatever. I'm like, why would people feel the need to do that? Because now you're the one who's going looking for these photos, looking for these videos and posting them because you're looking to gain some popularity, some attention from that. Like, do we need attention that badly? Honestly, is that what we're saying? That we need attention so badly that you would do something like that? I really don't get it. And then there's another conversation on top of that we can talk about after the break, where can we discuss about this responsibility in friendships when it comes to issues of like alcoholism or just drinking in general and how people behave. But before we get into that conversation, this is Superstar by Arush.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Goro yako mehera godanga Neta odwaleta kulia kwa muganga Wamiti shamba Sorry for showing up like this I hope you like flowers like these Cause baby you're the sauce and you're the seasoning And you know what you're doing Kemodo bad news, fire, Kegumo, Kinyaro, Raya. You're the sheriff for stealing my heart. There's no way I'm taking it back. Okotwali Dagyo, now Mercedes Benz, Bekeraga, the latest trend, showing up to exclusive parties. Dole regular, we VIP. Cause baby, you're the sauce and you're the seasoning. And you know what you're doing. Waneda.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Sitting at the corner, me and Susie know we ain't got no worries. We are looking like the owners, sipping on Coronas, looking at the phone. All them pretty boys come and tell us how they want. Mambo ni kungoja, aki utangoja. Sinaga my time, and Susie no. We ain't got no money, but we do it how we wanna. Minting our nails, checking our mails. All them pretty boys wanna have us, but they fail. Kim tango ya, Leon tango ya. Sai to coax, kunaga za vioya. Running how we want to, take over the waltz. Riding on the drum and the clap while the bass goes boom. Shake it down like that. We tell you, simmer. Shake it down like that. We tell you, simmer. If you really know it and you really wanna show it, be the way to go. Go and grab somebody, move your body, show somebody, be the way to go. On this I know, all this I know, all this I know. On this I know, all this I know, all this I know. Now you wipe your waist, comme ça. And now you screw your face, comme ça. Exaggerate the waist, comme ça. Resuscitate the place, comme ça. Wow, wale waka 50-50, comme si, comme ça. Now wale waka 50 PSC, comme ça. Tuko tu, sa mdogo mdogo yani, comme ça. Hallelujah, what you may even desire, comme ça. If you really know it and you really wanna show it, be the way to go. Go and grab somebody, move your body, show somebody, be the way to go. On this I know, all this I know, all this I know. On this I know, all this I know, all this I know.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
You are listening to Power Radio. My name is Muthoni Gitao, and this is She Talks. And today she talks about we've had a lot of losses this past weekend, and it's quite sad. And I would like to pass my condolences on those ones of Power Radio to the families and friends of Brian Shira as well as Rita Tinina. I think it's quite a sad Monday morning, if we're being honest. It's not Rita Tinina. I'm like, wow. I just death is such a. It's fascinating how we all know it's coming, but the fact that we never know when, it's always such a surprise, and it's always just like a dang, it still just catches us off guard. And you can never really be ready or prepared for it, because it's easier to prepare for things are coming than things you don't know when they're coming. You don't know when they're going to arrive and all. So this past weekend, Brian Shira, who was a content creator who rose to fame after he gave his take on an accident that had happened. And he had worked so hard. He'd created content and taken himself through school. He was talking about how he'd worked, even like I remember there's a clip I saw where he was talking about how he was washing people's clothes just to make money. And finally, when you're like, sometimes it's so sad when you're like, oh, we're just at the end of the struggle and we're seeing the other side of things, and we're like, hey, we finally get to relax, so, and then something like this happens and you're like, dang, man, like, because I feel like he was still such a very, very young man. He hadn't really lived a full life. And a conversation that I saw this morning in regards to his passing, because there was stories about the fact that he was inebriated, and there's someone who said, it's sad, like, we're all going through stuff, like, people are really going through it out here. And I think some of the ways we choose to cope, sometimes, when we're running away from pain and you're running away from hard times, sometimes, we try to numb ourselves as much as we can, and sometimes we don't make the best choices. Because, like, personally, actually, let me tell you something something about myself. I know whenever I know I'm going through it, the one thing I try my best to stay away from is alcohol. And the funny thing is, like, since this year began, I've actually been contemplating just leaving it all behind, just, not drinking anymore. And I've started like finding a love for iced teas and trying to figure out, okay, cool, I can have fun with cocktails. Oh no, mocktails, because cocktails contain alcohol. And I was talking to my friend and she said something to me and I was like, you know what, I think that's actually the case. Maybe that's the reason why. And she was telling me, it's like sometimes when you go through things without the help of something that helps you numb the things, the emotions and the feelings that you're feeling, then it gets to a point where like you don't see the need for those things anymore, if that makes any sense. Or you just like, it's like, you know. Because I was telling her how I'm not even attracted to alcohol anymore. I don't know if that's the best word to use, but it's even the thought of, because I remember like this year I've drunk just once, and it was during an event, actually technically twice. It was in one weekend and we were hosting an event and I was like, okay, cool, I'll have a drink, but I only had the one drink. And one thing about myself is I know that I like that I know how to control my intake. So there's a time where I didn't, and I had a time. I remember. Oof, let me tell you a story. I remember this one time. Now I can share. Because back then there's someone who reminded me about it, and I was very angry at them. There's a time I was really going through it. This was, I think, 2015, if I'm not wrong. I was in the dumps, deep in the dumps, and to cope, I was drinking. I was drinking in the house. I was drinking a lot, and I think I was drinking too much, if I'm being honest. And I remember one time, one of the things I used to do is like I never used to share or talk about the things I was going through. So we go for an event and there were work people there, and then they made the mistake of they bought us wine. I'm not even like a wine lover. I'm not a fan of wine like that. And we were drinking, having a good time. The vibes were vibing, but let me tell you, I don't know, someone asked me a question and I broke down. I literally started crying. And we're at an event. This event was actually, it's an event that is run by the artist we just listened to. It was at Blankets, and I broke down, and I don't even know where that came from, but I cried. And as I was crying, I just started talking about all the things that were going wrong in my life and how I was just feeling. It's like because I had bottled up all my emotions, I wasn't sharing them with anyone. And I think because I had been drinking, the receptors were like, oh, open the floodgates, let's go. And I remember it was the worst thing about that is like after that happened and I went home, the worst thing was the next morning I was like, crap, I have to face these people. And I don't even remember if anyone spoke to me on that day or if anyone said anything. But I remember one of the guys we worked with, the next day, he made it like it was a joke. And that really hurt my feelings. I think I'm getting emotional even now. That really hurt my feelings because I was like, I remember thinking, and this is why I don't open up. This is why I don't talk to people, because even in such a moment where technically this was like a cry for help, I guess, someone still looked at that and I was like, oh, this is so funny. This is hilarious. And they didn't think, oh, this person has been going through stuff. Maybe let's wait it out or something. So, oh, dang. Wow. Yeah. So let's take a short break. And listen to Tattoo as I gather myself.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Tell your story, philosophy, what you've been through and now who you are. Draw a silver line around your scars. It's the story of our ancestors. A blinding alyo ya choma watu. Messages be spoke really kitabu. When you get up close, you control the mood. The further back you go, the better they look. Your
that shines like that. A blinding allure ya choma watu. Messages be spoke mwili kitabu. When you get up close, you control the mood. The further back you go, the better they look. Hiyo tattoo ni wazi kwa watu. Hiyo tattoo ina story tamu. Hiyo tattoo tells her tell you want to. Hiyo tattoo will always be you, dear. Body art, 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 body art. Hadithi hadithi bora, mjanje mjanje chora, sauti ya ngozi soma. They thought you that they had debated me, but didn't you know that I was a seed? Everything God gave her, think twice about who saved her. Good gracious, her eyes when she gazes. Her mind frames the nation. A body like waves, what she has they crave. Her flavor their favorite. That feminine can't explain it. Hiyo tattoo ni wazi kwa watu. Hiyo tattoo ina story tamu. Hiyo tattoo tells her tell you want to. Hiyo tattoo will always be you, dear. Body art, 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 body art.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
That was Crystal Asiki with Tattoo. I really like that song as someone who has tattoos, and yeah, you know all the things they say. But yeah, I really like that song. I'm okay. I have gathered myself. Just I wanted to we can wrap up this conversation. Maybe we can talk about it like in an in-depth manner later on during another show. But because today we're just doing a weekend roundup, and then now here we are crying and other stories. But basically, I think what I wanted to share is that when it comes to people drinking away their sorrows and their issues and everything like that, sometimes it's because there's people who don't know how to express themselves, or there's people who feel like they can only express themselves when they are under the influence. But I think the important thing is it's very important to know your limits and know when it's too much, know how to gauge yourself, and also just pacing. I think pacing also matters a lot. And I think as friends, there's something that I saw this morning. I was looking for it, but I didn't find it. I hadn't saved the link. But there was someone, it was in conversation to what happened over the weekend. And someone was like, oh, you see, look at your friends. Siju, they should have done this. They should have made sure you got home safe and everything. And sometimes I think, yeah, that does work. But also people can only do so much if you yourself are not taking care of yourself. So I think I would say, even as we're going, we're celebrating, we're having a good time, always remember to just look out for yourself. I think that's what I'll say. Just take care of yourself in the best ways you know how. But like, it's always important to really take care of yourself. For me, I know the thing I was saying is when I know I'm going through it, especially these days, I stay the hell away from alcohol because I know how easy going down that spiral can be. And sometimes there's people who, who are predisposed to genes that are very easy in terms of, becoming addicted to things. So if you already know that maybe that's also something, you can just be, be careful. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying, watch out for yourself, be careful, take care of yourself. People are going through it out here. If you can hold space for someone, if you're in a position to hold space for someone, do it. if you're not, it's also okay. I totally get it because we're all going through one thing or the other. Here's Oceans by Sage.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Sunrise on the edge of the ocean. Is that where you get your magic potion? So sweet it quenched all my desire. Light me up and ignite my fire. So out of touch. Just one touch. I've got this rush. You're too much. Pray you let me loose. Pray you let me go. Pray you keep me in your clutches. Let me know if it feels right. 'Cause it feels right. Don't stop. Oh, oh, oh. Yeah. I never lose my focus. I'm looking out. Oh, you know what I like. I'm restless and I'm hopeless and there's no doubt. Caught up in your wave of life. Just one touch and I'm breathing underwater. I'm waiting, I'm waiting, I'm waiting. Oh, pray you let me go. Pray you keep me in your clutches. Let me know if it feels right. 'Cause it feels right. Don't stop. Oh, oh, oh. Don't stop. Keep me floating on the ocean, the ocean, the ocean, the ocean. The ocean. Pray you let me loose. Pray you let me go. Pray you keep me in your clutches. Let me know if it feels right. 'Cause it feels right. No. Pray you let me loose. Pray you let me go. Pray you keep me in your clutches. Let me know if it feels right. 'Cause it feels right. Don't stop. Oh, oh, oh.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
I'm anticipating, waiting, wondering if I'll make it to our destination. Wondering if our love is wasting away. How we drive into a separation. Can't forget to mention the tension's been lacking. I stay backtracking to the good days. Reverse, you turn, it don't matter to me. Whatever takes me back to what it used to be. Will you go back there with me? Back to when our love was free. Will you go back there with me? Back to when our love was free. I've been feeling off track. see. Can we take it back? Back long ago. Whatever takes me back to what it used to be. Will you go back there with me? Back to when our love was free. Will you go back there with me? Back to when our love was free.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
That was Anticipate by Karun and Zenia Manasseh. Now that we are done with In the Threads, let's see what's in the papers. And I just saw an interesting pictorial here from the Daily Nation that apparently Chief Justice Martha Koome received the African Female Leader of the Year award 2023 from the former Tanzanian President Jakaya Kikwete in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, in recognition of her trailblazing leadership as the first female Chief Justice of Kenya, as well as accomplishments in the judiciary, especially in improving access to justice, promoting gender equality within the legal system, and advancing to judicial reforms to strengthen the rule of law. I'm like, kudos to Martha Koome for this, but also in 2024, should we still be saying the first female anything? We shouldn't be having such headlines. It should be normal by now. Another interesting story that caught my eye is at the back of the Business Daily, and it's the dark world of mercury heavy skin lightening products. This is a story that was written by Patricia Combo. And the story basically just talks about how women in many different countries are using cosmetic products to lighten their skin in search of fair-skinned beauty. And some of the products may be harmless, but others do contain hazardous ingredients such as inorganic mercury compounds, hydroquinone, and steroids. And so be careful what you're putting on your skin. Make sure you know where it's coming from, what ingredients it has, and don't be. Maybe if there's moments, I have moments of pride when I'm walking Uko River Road, and those girls who stand up and then they're like, sister mafuta. So when they go like, sister mafuta, and I'm like, oh, kumbe I'm not light skin. That's usually the thought. But one thing I do love is I do love my skin. Okay, I've never thought I'm light skin, but I love my skin. And the funny thing is, whenever they do that thing of sister mafuta, my first thought is always like, I love myself. That's always the thought that goes through my head. Sometimes I actually say it out loud. I say, najipenda, and I keep walking. But it's always interesting because also they are an advertisement as to why you should not buy the mafuta. Because have you seen how botched their skin jobs are? I'm like, they have random spots. I'm like, you are not the best sales rep for this mafuta thing you're trying to get me on. You're not actually. I'm sorry. If that's the end product, I'm good. Thank you very much and goodbye. So all I'd say is just like, be careful about the things that you end up putting on your skin. The sad part is also the fact that we know that getting a KEBS sticker is the easiest thing in this country. So just because it has a KEBS sticker doesn't mean it's good for you. It doesn't mean it's approved. So be careful. And that's it from In the Papers. Right now, listening to Fi Niko Maju. Okay, Niko hapa hivi, Niko Power. So technically Niko Maju.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Sikubebanga sweta, kumbe hukuwedhani ngori. But I'ma call you later, tell you all about it. Nina miss motora, smoky pasua, avocado ya group of schools. Cause it tastes different out here, and I miss you when you're not here.
Mimi niko majuu, flying, grinding. Tell you when I come through. Oh na 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 na, oh na na. Mimi niko majuu, flying, grinding. Tell you when I come through. Oh na 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 na, oh na na, yeah, 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 yeah. Akiwendi ningekuletea fenti, si ati ni juu sipendi, bagi imejaa, nimetumwa na watu wengi. To my lover and my sons, I'll be home soon. Nina miss tukilala in the afternoon. After church tukipitia Kikuyu. Can't wait to come home and hold you. Mimi niko majuu, flying, grinding. Tell you when I come through. Oh na 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 na, oh na na. Mimi niko majuu, flying, grinding. Tell you when I come through. Oh na 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 na, oh na na. Yeah, 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 yeah,
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Like you care, like you care, like you care. I say like you care, like you care, like you care. Rangi ya mdomo kwenye shirt, nina uhakika ile marashi siyo yake. Bado yuaja kwangu kitandani, akitaka tubanane. Risiti kila kitu mbili, amejaa maalama kwenye mwili. Bado yuaja kwangu kitandani, akitaka tubanane. Anamlale, anamlala, na siyo siri, siyo habari. Anamlale, anamlala, wala fichi, siyo habari. Niliambiwa kupenzae atakuchiti hadharani. Niliambiwa kupenzae atakustiri hadharani. Jaribu kundanganya kama wanijale, kama wanijale. Jaribu kundanganya kama wanijale, kama wanijale. Jale, 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 jale. Jale, 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 jale. Like you care, like you care, like you care. I say like you care, like you care, like you care.
Hata saa ile sidanganyi, unasema mimi nadanganya. Utasikizaje masikio yako shazibana, macho yako yanaona vitu na kuna kitu nafanya. Hapo ndo tumefika na kuongelesha, nkiona unaona niko guilty, haimata kitu nitasema. Ndani ya roho inaumizwa, nasikia wivu nkiona wale wanapendana bila kushukushuku sana. Ile inafaa vile unataka kufanya fanya leo leo, kana panda cheo cheo nipande, kana shuka basi nianze kutafuta stage ya mine. Yeah, jifanye kama una care pia, utaniamini uone vile na kuchange ya mine.
Jaribu kundanganya kama wanijale, kama wanijale. Jaribu kundanganya kama wanijale, kama wanijale. Jale, 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 jale. Jale, 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 jale. Like you care, like you care, like you care. I
chilla. Anamlale, na siyo siri, siyo habari. Anamlala, wala fichi, siyo habari. Jaribu kundanganya kama wanijale, kama wanijale. Jaribu kundanganya kama wanijale, kama wanijale. Jale, 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 jale. Jale, 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 jale.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Our radio.
Hello, niggas blowing up my phone. Usini hala kama huna phone. Mnani choke, mnani kabako. Hello, nyiribetinde wa yudogi mawadwaro. Werigi jogi gidwa promises of life. Werigi jogi do machinjia online. Vijana wa Nairobi msinilete ufala, ndio manami huishingi hatungepatana. Ukinikata mara moja wezi nitamalaya. And you're telling everybody that this Gucci's on fire. Only fans, penye imefika na fungua only fans. Kauna nipenda tu mafea in advance. Penye imefika no romance with no finance. Only fans, yeah, only fans. Penye imefika na fungua only fans. Kauna nipenda tu mafea in advance. Penye imefika no romance with no finance. Only fans, yeah.
Hello, ladies blowing up my phone. Aki bien, you are so bomb. Wakituma fea twakuja kwako. Oh, yo. Steady grinding all night long. Na sikuji kasi form ya door. Itabidi ukanje ndo tupige show. Ukisikia sauti solo jue ni kubaya. Hii muziki ya Kenya twaipeleka Ulaya. Na temperature inapanda warazi wanakwaya. Tutashinda magrami before tumeretire. Mise only fans, walimefika na tambua only fans. Kanika kitu mutumia only fans. Walimefika nafanyia only fans. Only fans, yeah, only fans. Walimefika na tambua only fans. Kanika kitu mutumia only fans. Walimefika mutambua only fans. Only fans, yeah.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Our radio.
Welcome to the second hour of the show. And I feel like OnlyFans should now just become the track life to my life. Like the track song to my life. You know, like when they say, what's going to be the score of the film of your life? OnlyFans. Because if y'all don't listen to this show and I don't get paid, imagine what will I do? I'll have to start an OnlyFans. And I'm not built for OnlyFans, guys. I am not built for that life. But you know what? Tulisema commitment is to the bag, okay? The commitment is to the bag. So if the bag is only found in OnlyFans, who am I to say no? Who am I to say no? Nitaenda kwenye bag iko, please. And thank you very much. Welcome to the second hour of the show. And this is the hour where we usually dive a little deeper into our conversation of the day. And today we are going to be talking about reproductive abuse. And I know you're wondering, Muthoni, what is reproductive abuse? And reproductive abuse, which is also known as reproductive coercion, is a form of abuse in which someone else controls your reproductive choices. Like all abuse, it's used to gain power and control over you. Why did I choose this topic? Well. As usual, I was perambulating on the interwebs and I came across a video, which it is interesting that this video was shared like it was funny, like it was as if it was a joke. And even the caption of the video was it was very, very sad. The person, and the saddest part on top of that sadness was that it was shared by a doctor. Mimi sijui madaktari wa Kenya mnataka nini na sisi shwali. Juzi tu we were complaining about another doctor and then another one comes here and it's like, hey, come we laugh at this one. So basically what happens, let me give you the context of the video. The caption of the video says, nini husumbua waluya lakini. Laugh emoji. But here's the sad part. The context of the video is there's a woman who's being interviewed and she's talking about how she is tired of giving birth to children. She has 20 children with her husband. And she says that she went to the hospital to get, she was given an implant because she was like, hey, see, we just relax a bit. Because she was saying the moment she gives birth, she can't even go like a couple of months before her husband is like, okay, next. And then he's in there and again, she's pregnant again. So she's like, literally, my womb has not rested. It's been working. And she doesn't even look that old. And like I said, she already has 20 children. And this man, so she says that she went to the hospital to get an implant because she was like, okay, can we at least wait for maybe 3 years? And then we can have the next child. So that first of all, tulea wa kwanza, tuale tu kidogo. And then I'm not saying we're not going to have more. I'm just saying, can we rest kidogo tu for my own sanity, for my own health, for my body? This man, what he did is, first of all, he beat her up and then took her back to the hospital to get the implant removed. So the sad, I've mentioned several parts that I find sad. One, the fact that the person who shared this video as if it was a joke was a doctor. And I know 2 weeks ago, I was complaining about a male doctor who was doing terrible things. This was a female doctor. Also now, I don't know if is she like a practicing doctor ama ni wale alienda akageta a doctorate? I don't know. But her whole thing is she's a doctor, right? Then secondly, it was also the comments. And even like the video, because she went and found the video. She's not the one who put the video together. The video has been put in a way that when this woman says something, there's like those laugh tracks and there's a meme that is like in laughter. And the worst part is like they also show the husband and the husband is over there saying, yeah, I want 22 children. Let me tell you, as a child-free woman, one of the reasons I got my tubes tied was because I wanted to have control over what happens to my body, control over my reproductive health, right? This woman was trying to get control over her reproductive health and having her own reproductive rights. And this man was like, oh, hell to the no. He's over there. He's such like a shy guy. Ako hapo tu like, ati hapana, nataka iwafike, wengine ifike 22. And like, and then now people are also making fun of that beat. But for me, I'm like, why is no one seeing that this is abuse? People are seeing it like a joke. It looks funny. Let me see if we can actually play you the clip. Let me talk to my producer and see if it's possible for us to actually play you the clip. And you just hear it for yourself, and then we can continue with this conversation. For now, here is Kenyan Message by Muthoni DQ.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Tangu ile siku tukuelect aushikagi simu mentu wezi connect. Nimekuwa nikisaka an appointment, nimekuwa nikisafa disappointment. Siku hizi sukwa naga koteli, sisi maoba wewe lunch hoteli. Panganga na mapoti beli, honey men, watch men. Wanakupangia wakikusalimia, na we uwezi notice hata uwezi dhania. Siku hizi kanti yote venye kuna njaa, kila mtu wanafikiria tu chapa. Don't push me, cause I'm close to that edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. Ni kama jungle sometimes mimi uwanda, bona sija enda under. Ni kama kama jango sometimes mimi uwanda mbona sijaenda under. Ni kama jango sometimes mimi uwanda mbona sijaenda under. Ni kama jango sometimes mimi uwanda mbona sijaenda under. Na wale wanadao ni 1%. Si uwaonaga siku ya kulipa rent. Sisi ukuwaga ndani ya predicament. Biggest spender, government. Unchurch officials. Na miracles are also artificial. Congregation wako so superficial. Wanataka ule Mungu mu beneficial. Unofficial, kitambulisho. Unaeza get in a few days. Unaeza get in a few ways. Unaeza get bila delays. Nowadays, hakuna madokta na gava ijali juu sisi wagonjwa tukienda private tutapay. So ni obvious nani anasay don't push me cause I'm close to that age. I'm trying not to lose my head. Ni kama jango sometimes mimi uwanda mbona sijaenda under. Ni kama jango sometimes mimi uwanda mbona sijaenda under. Ni kama jango sometimes mimi uwanda mbona sijaenda under. Ni kama jango sometimes mimi uwanda mbona sijaenda under. Hakuna do kama futa ya warabu, lakini pia do kwa futa si ajabu. Venye kina Sepp Blatter wamepakua do kapuve kwa plata. Na venye sisi upendaga news, na venye sisi upeaga views. My likes, my shares, kuji amuse. No world affairs, my world issues. Siku hizi ni za social media, modern, daily encyclopedia. Kufuata, hawa ma socialite, wakienda, naija kusocialite. Don't push me, cause I'm close to that age. I'm trying not to lose my head. Ni kama jango sometimes mimi uwanda mbona sijaenda under. Ni kama jango sometimes mimi uwanda mbona sijaenda under. Ni kama jango sometimes mimi uwanda mbona sijaenda under. Ni kama jango sometimes mimi uwanda mbona sijaenda under.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
That was Muthoni Drama Queen, and one thing I love about her is her sound. As in, I can pick out a Muthoni DQ song, even like from the moment I just hear the tracks and stuff. I really love that about her. And I remember reading something over the weekend where they mentioned that it's the uniqueness and the things that you do differently that would actually make you stand out. And you know what? Anyway, it's like, Muthoni is a cool song. What do I gotta say? What do I gotta say? So we can play you the clip. So we're going to play it for you because I want you to hear how it was put together and basically the whole idea about what this clip is and what we're discussing. As much as you can't watch it right now, well, you can hear because it's more about like what's being said as well. So here is the clip.
Watoto ni mwaka moja, huwa namaliza mwaka bora nikianza tu kwenda period mwaka moja mwingine, mwaka ikipita mwingine. Hata sasa niko na mimba miezi 3.
Hii ni maajabu ya Yesu.
Niko na watoto 20. Hii mambo ya mabibi kupanga uzazi hatutaki.
Gai, anyway.
Nataka tu aongeze. Ukikosa watoto wanakucheka.
Najaribu kumwelezea vile maisha inaendelea, akakataa. Nikaenda hata hospitali nikauliza sister. Sister akasema tu weka tu uone kama atakufukuza. Hakika nikaweka shindano ya miaka 3. Vile nilikuja na akasema nini hii yenye wameweka hapa. Mimi nikamwambia mzee, hata basi nitasaa tu watoto lakini wacha hao wakue kitoko, sababu ninatafuta kwa nguvu zangu na kusaazaa kila wakati nitaisha nguvu. Akanichapa mpaka tukarudi huko, akaenda wakatoa shindano na tulienda tu naye na akasomea huyo sister, alikuwa sister Julia, amwambia mambo ya kuharibu mabibi za wenyewe hapa, mjue kitu yenye iliwaleta.
God have mercy upon us.
Sasa nikaamua tu haja nimsalie vile anataka. Nikakuchako na draft siku ingine akarusha kwa choo. Akasema hiyo hapana.
Bora afikishe tu yenye nataka. Akifikisha kama 22.
Mtazamaji.
So that's the clip we are talking about today, because we are talking about reproductive abuse. And if you're wondering what reproductive abuse is, it is also known as reproductive coercion, and it is a form of abuse in which someone else controls your reproductive choices. And in like all abuse, it's used to gain power and control over the person. If you're wondering, what does reproductive abuse involve? I'm going to read you something. If someone else has ever controlled your reproductive choices, such as deciding whether or not you can use contraception, whether or not to become pregnant, or whether or not to continue with the pregnancy, then you've experienced reproductive abuse. So reproductive abuse also goes further into, if someone, for instance, say you end up becoming pregnant and your partner goes like, yep, I don't care, we're getting rid of it. That can also constitute reproductive abuse. If they are making the choices for you, that is also considered reproductive abuse. As the clip was playing, I was actually realizing how annoying the commentary was, away from just like the main, like the additional, the laugh tracks and the memes and the whatever. They were quite annoying. I ended up removing my headphone because I was just like, wow, this is actually very, very annoying. But people found that funny. People thought it was comical, and I'm like, which part? I'm imagining how powerless she feels when she sits there and she says, I tried to take charge of my own reproductive health. I went to the hospital and I said, this is what I wanted. I came back home, and the first thing that happened is I end up experiencing physical abuse. This man beats me. And then he drags me back there and forces them to remove the implant, and even goes ahead to embarrass me by going in on the person who helped me gain this kind of, it was short-lived freedom in being like, hey, at least for the next 3 years, I don't have to worry about these things. And the fact that he's over there being like, as long as she gives me what I want. What about what she wants? At what point are we going to talk about what she wants? Because the thing is, this woman has already said, it's fine. We will have the 22 children you want. It's fine. You will have your 22 kids. Just give me some time to recover. She's even saying her own body, she doesn't feel strong enough. She's saying, I don't have the strength, literally. Please give me time to recover. And this man is like, none of my business. Here is Kasioki wa Mitumba by Zero.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Our radio.
Natuma zaramu, ngoja shiro. Ndambuki.
Kwantisa, Kyoko.
Napia buhunda wangita.
Mbari Kasioki wa Mitumba. Mimi kwa mayena nisiombua. Nimekuwa nikikujeki kwa muda. Ninafanyanga kati pale kwa mama wambua. Ukweli ni nimenuki macho yako ya mbulu. Me and you, we can stick Langulu. We can elope, we can go to Kiambu. Please say yes, say you love me too. My dear Kasioki, come I tell you something about the way I feel I love you. My dear Kasioki, come I tell you something about the way I feel I love you. My Kasioki, come and love me. My Kasioki, I love you. My Kasioki, come and love me. My Kasioki, I love you. Aye! Handsome boy, always looking nice. I am ready to be your wife.
Look at me, I have beautiful smile, and I can cook food of any kind. Na sinjasema unipeleke Amerika, mimi atamu dhoko nitakula. Na kama hauna, mimi nitatafuta. Juu nimeamua nikasioki wa mutumba. Maindi ya kasioki, come I tell you something about the way I feel I love you. Maindi ya kasioki, come I tell you something about the way I feel I love you. My Kasioki, come and love me. My Kasioki, I love you. My Kasioki, come and love me. My Kasioki, I love you. Kasioki wa mitrumba, njoni kupende. Ninakupromisi sitakualbleki. Kasioki wa mitrumba, njoni kupende. Ewe Kasioki, we Kasioki, Kasioki wa mitrumba, njoni kupende. Ewe Kasioki, we Kasioki, Kasioki wa mitrumba, njoni kupende.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
I dream of a sky where the lights never die down. I'm awake in my sleep and I'm falling to the ground. I want the answers to the questions of the reactions, whether it makes sense or the path is fatal attraction. Is it the whiteness of the cloud or the steam in my mirror? Is it the broken of a glass? Could it be more clearer? 'Cause I feel so alive. No one can stop me even if they try. 'Cause I've been trying much too long. You can beat me down, I'll stay strong. 'Cause I feel so alive. Beat me down, I'll stay strong. Through the rain and the hail and the fire, through whatever they bring, till I get my desire. Is it the whisper of an angel or the pounding of my heartbeat? Is it the playing of a record where the drumming in the bass meet? 'Cause I feel so alive. No one can stop me even if they try. 'Cause I've been trying much too long. You can beat me down, I'll stay strong. 'Cause I feel so alive. Beat me down, I'll stay strong.
Walinidharau lakini usikise mtu wangu, kuna venye nimekafunga Ramadhan, weze ni sahau. Junikingia kwa booth mule boy ukikizwa masnia design ya Chucky Chan, sotam nikate mguu, amwezi ni defeat, finya backspace kwa comp wezi ni delete, kuja na pinya still amwezi kuni beat, na hizo wealth zote mkonazo amwezi kuni reach. Wanadai mini mskini, I need to gain some weight. Mini maskini my pocket needs to gain weight, cause raha wanabonda, after raha wanahara wanakonda, kangonda. Mini hustling daily, kukula smart make sure nimenona kuliko anaconda. Sikizi wakiniona ni sura wanakuwaga wamebonda, hizo mipaka tunazivuka bila bada.
'Cause I feel so alive. to stop me even if they try. 'Cause I've been trying much too long. You can beat me down, I'll stay strong. 'Cause I feel so alive. Beat me down, I'll stay strong.
Don't let discouragement get in life. Wala wanakuambiaga uwezi toboa, wala wasikuchekelea. That time that we proved them wrong. Saizi kuambia otherwise. The future's here with the best leader. That's the ego plan. If you're still hating on us, you're on, cause we need that. It's not banana, baby.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio. Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
That was Chemutai Sage featuring Octo P-I-Z-Z-O, and that was So Alive. The remix, I think. I'm not sure if it's a remix, but I really love that song because it's this one's for, it brings out the vibes and everything. That is how alive this man's 20 children are, and how he's insisting that he wants them to be 22. Today we are discussing a clip that I came across online, where a woman was talking about how her husband has refused for her to get any sort of reproductive contraception because he wants to have 22 children. And this woman is literally crying and saying, I am tired. I just want a little bit of rest, and then we will continue having your children. And the person who shared this video and the framing of the video, one, is very problematic because the clip is framed as Luya culture, and two, they framed it as if it's a comical thing, but in truth, this is reproductive abuse, and that is exactly what we are discussing today. We are talking about, like, one, at what point where do we draw the line? Because first of all, in this economy, mimi kama Muthoni nimeshindwa kujilea. By the way, mimi natafuta adopter. I don't want a zaddy, no. I want an adopter. Me, I want to be a child. You see, like the way you adopt a child and you just pay for all their things and you just take care of them and you ask for nothing in return. That is, like, me, I can't even be a sugar baby because I can only be a sugar baby if you don't want the sugar. So it's like, yeah, a salt bay. If you want someone to add salt to the wound, maybe I should be a salt baby. I can't be a sugar baby. But like, mimi penye niko as an adult who's trying to adult in this country, I'm like, what in the hell is this? Niko ready to abandon ship, nishuke niende zangu. But someone's like 20, they want, and also why 22? Why 22 specifically? Is there a reason? Because also 20 and 22, they're like so close together. It's not that big a difference. If you already have 20 children, I don't even think because given the way we know fathers don't parent in this nation, I'm sure he doesn't even know all the names of these 20 children. I can make a bet with you that this man does not know the names of all these 20 kids. I can guarantee that. Mimi, I know for sure. There's no way he knows all these kids' names. He doesn't know the schools, like the classes. Maybe they all go to the same school. Even if they even go to school to begin with. Can we start there? Do they even go to school? And I'm like, does he parent these kids? Because also I'm sure the amount of work that this woman has to do to take care of these children. I'm imagining cooking for 20 children, and they're all like very young, given the way she's like describing them. I'm sure they're very young, right? Cooking for these kids. These kids are not twins, because at no point has she said, at least nilibarikiwa na mapacha mara tatu, wakanipunguzia kazi. No, I don't think they're twins. So I'm imagining the upkeep, the work that it takes to take care of these 20 kids already, and it's 20 kids, still take care of this man and still sort of take care of yourself, still take care of the house. I'm like, yeah, no wonder she's exhausted, away from just the pregnancies where it's just like one after the other, after the other, after the other. I'm imagining just physically every single day the amount of work this woman has to do. I struggle to take care of myself. Mimi, let me tell you, yesterday, I made popcorn for dinner. It took me 2 minutes, actually, technically 4, because I made 2 small bowls that made 1 large bowl. So 4 minutes in the microwave. And then I made myself a glass of juice. And then that was dinner. And then someone judged me. I remembered I had half a chapo that was left over from chapo I had bought 2 days ago from the supermarket. So I cracked 1 egg. Decided to be a little fancy. I added a small onion to my egg. I added a little oomph. Put that with my chapo, my half chapo. And then made myself a mug of hibiscus tea. And how did I make the mug of hibiscus tea? I boiled the water with the kettle. Okay? And then I put a tea bag in the cup. And then I poured the water. That was exhausting. And it was just for me. And I didn't have to cook food for my cats, because my cats, their food comes ready. I just put it in their 2 bowls. I was exhausted. Now imagine doing that for 20 children, plus a husband, plus yourself. This is that conversation we were having at PDF about unpaid labor in the house. Because I'm like, exhaustion galore. And she's 3 months pregnant. And she also has a child right now that she's taking care of who is under 1. Because when you do the math, alisema a kid, it's every year. So she has a child who's under 1. Technically, she possibly has 5 kids who are under 5. And she's currently pregnant. So she has like maybe 4 kids under 5, currently pregnant, and taking care of all these people in this household. And I'm sure, because an issue shall go, chances are, bado lazima nenda shamba kulima. Where? Me, let me tell you, if this is what it takes to have a husband, wacha nikae peke yangu, wacha ning'ang'ane na maisha on my own, by myself, because we're discussing reproductive abuse. You are listening to She Talks on Power Radio.
Some days you feel like the world is on fire. Some days you feel like you're swimming and flying. Some days you wake up and you don't feel like you wanna chase what you don't see. But some days you feel like you're floating up high. So how about you try this time? Lifting up your head and sing out. What more than I see, there's more inside of me. Just lift up your voice and say, nitajaribu tena kesho, nitaamka upya na nisonge, hata wakipenda kunivunja, mambo yakizidi unga, sitashindwa kujivuta. Kesho naamka upya, kesho naamka upya. Some days I know that you think of surviving, but you sleep and wake up and don't feel like fighting. But there's space in your soul to keep wanting more, to desire to soar. But some days you know that their words, they mean nothing. So how about you try this time? Lifting up your head and say, what more than I see, there's more inside of me. Just lift up your voice and say, nitajaribu tena kesho, nitaamka upya na nisonge, hata
from sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
That was Bridget Blue with Kesho. I really love her voice. And I also realized over the weekend that her voice has a similar tone to Fee's voice. I don't know if you guys have heard it, but mimi nimeisikia kidogo. I noticed that on Saturday when she started singing. I was like, oh, that almost sounds like Fee. But I really like the way she writes her music. I've been enjoying the work that the girlies are putting out. Okay, I'm always enjoying the work that the girlies are putting out, but I've really been enjoying, especially like the To Love songs and that R&B vibe music. Really, really loving it. We are discussing or having a conversation about reproductive abuse in reference to a video that's online where it was framed like it's a joke when a woman was complaining about the fact that her husband would not allow her to even get implants or even take a break from having children because he insists that he wants to have 22 children. She is at 20 now, and he is still like, we keep going until I say we are done. And in case you're wondering what constitutes or what behaviors are involved in reproductive abuse, it is if someone else has the control over your contraception, or whether or not you can use contraception, whether or not you can become pregnant, or whether or not to continue with a pregnancy. So this also another thing that I just realized can also fall or does also fall into reproductive abuse is stealthing can also fall under here. I know it's already a criminal offense on itself, but also under reproductive abuse, it can also fall under there because the people who, if you don't know what stealthing is, by the way, stealthing is when someone has, say, you're having intercourse with someone and they are wearing protection and then they remove the protection without telling you that they removed it and continue to engage in intercourse with you. That is stealthing, and that's already an offense on its own. I don't know if we have a law about stealthing in Kenya. I'm curious. I'm going to find out, and I'm going to tell you when we take the next break. I'm going to do a little bit of research on that and then share that with you. So when someone was called out, like now I am in terms of this particular clip about this guy, there's someone who said, I don't like that this is framed as if it's comical, and someone says, well, it's actually comedic. And when they were told it's not, and some person came back and said, everything on earth should be subject to comedy. To say less is sanctioning free speech. And I'm like, nope, we have to draw lines. You can have free speech, but I think the thing that people forget about rights is that your rights you get to keep your rights as long as they do not infringe on the next person's rights. That's how rights work, right? So if you're saying that, oh, it's free speech, this free speech it's now invading someone else's rights. You have the right to free speech, but your right to free speech is right now you're not sanctioning free speech, no, because this is bordering on this other person's reproductive rights. So we can't just say, oh, no, free speech. No, you have to also be aware of how your rights affect other people. So remember, your rights are your rights until they start. Like the moment your rights start interfering with other people's rights, that is where the line is drawn. We're like, nope, it stops being about your rights at this point. And if you're infringing on someone else's rights, then at that point, you're taking away someone else's rights. And in this case, this man has taken away the reproductive rights of this woman because she doesn't have control over her body. She doesn't have control. She can't make choices over what happens to her body, because how is it that I come back home and say, I've made this choice, and then your reaction is to, one, cause violence and, just beat me, because that's gender-based violence now at that point, and then take me back to the hospital and have it removed. You are infringing on my rights to choose what happens to my body. And in this country, as women who exist in these bodies that we live in this country, our rights are violated every single day. Groping when you are walking down the streets. In Matatus, there was a story where someone again, we go back to the rights. Someone had taken a top-down photo. So like in a matatu, they were standing and they took a photo down a woman's shirt and they posted that online. And then someone else came and said, by the way, let's find out who this guy is. And they found out who they were and they emailed the institution that this guy schools at and said, FYI, this is what this guy is doing. And to an extent, like if he was working somewhere, they'd have probably also emailed that workplace and said, this is what your employees are doing out here. And I remember someone saying, no, that is crossing a line. You've gone too far. And I was like, no. They should know the people. If that was someone that was working in my institution, I would want to know that that's what they're doing out there. Because I would not want to work with someone who does stuff like that. Because it starts that way. Then the next, what do I know? What else will they do? Leave a phone in the bathroom when I go in there to use it? Because they were so comfortable taking that photo. And to make matters worse, when they were called out for it, they doubled down as if they did nothing wrong. Your rights are not supposed to infringe on someone else's rights. Let's read some reactions from Kenyans online and what their thoughts were on this matter. I like this. Someone said, I don't see the humor here. This woman is exhausted, but the man has decided things must go his way. Apende asipende. Another person says, it's funny until you realize that in 2024, this woman has no right to her own body's agency and autonomy. The right here is not culture, but a case of abuse. This is why we need to maintain the conversation about sexual and reproductive health rights. And I completely agree. Her name is Sheila Simiu. This is reproductive abuse. I don't even understand why it's being framed as something comedic. I completely agree with that as well. I like that a lot of people actually didn't find this funny. And I'm noticing, but we'll see the ones who find it funny. Maybe they'll tell us what exactly the joke is, because sometimes I'm like, there's this thing I tell people. It's like if someone says a joke and you don't laugh, chances are it's because you are the butt of the joke. So if you are making a joke at my expense, it's not a joke because it's not funny. If I'm not laughing, for me, I always go, it's like someone makes like a terrible joke, say about women or something. And I'm like, I'm not laughing. That should tell you enough. It should tell you all you need to know. This is not anywhere funny. All those edits inside are not funny. I know I told you I found them very, very annoying. I literally had to remove my headphones. Doctors give stories of women, patients dying because of husbands who didn't consent to surgery or treatment and etc. Yet you lot think this is a funny joke. This woman is exhausted. She has resigned to her face. She has given up. That is so true. Even when she says like, Kaya, kama hivyo ndo ameamua. Literally she says, kama hivyo ndo anataka. It's her body, but she gets to say, she has no rights. She can't say anything. That's really, I'm like, that's very, very sad. Let's take a short musical break and then we'll come back with our final thoughts on this topic.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up. Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
That was Running Low by Wahoo and Chege from across the pond over here, our neighbors. And I kind of like the president has actually been putting us to shame. I love it. I love it for them. We have been discussing reproductive abuse. I'm going to read some final reactions and responses to this and give my final take on this. And then, we just need to do better. I think that's always my final take on anything. We need to do better. The song said, Nini husumbua waluya lakini. After, so they quote because that is the tweet, right? They quoted and said, Nini husumbua waluya lakini. After a victim of abuse cries for help with no autonomy of self while being a submissive sole provider is a choice. You found GBV funny, disgusting. I can't describe this in its totality. Yuck. Yes, I totally agree. So I said, this is so stupid. Me and Waingo, we need to have an internal meeting. Correction. Luya men need to have a meeting between themselves. I don't understand this obsession with having 300 children each. This poor woman doesn't want more children, but that man is forcing her. Why? I am also curious. I'm like, what is the obsession with the number of kids? What happens? Like, is that how, I have a question by the way for anyone out there, is that how it's like the more kids I have, the wealthier I am, or the wealthier I'm viewed? Is it because there's I remember a statement the man says, he makes in the video where he says, if you don't have kids, they laugh at you. I'm like, you have 20. I'm like, I think at this point, if it's a point you are trying to prove, you've already proven it. You don't need to keep going. We get it. Your seed does things. Good for you. Good job. You don't shoot blanks. Yay. We don't need 22 kids to prove that. You don't need 22 children to prove that, I don't know, you're a man or whatever it is you're trying to prove. Come on. Surely. I think we need to do better. I think we need to also examine some of these cultural practices that are still ongoing, because sometimes I know we, us who live in the city, we live in this bubble where we think, we've all progressed so much, until you have a conversation with someone or until such things come up and you're like, oh my God, we have such a long way to go, so far more. Things need to be done. A lot more education needs to happen. We need to examine where these things are coming from and what they're about, because wasn't the whole idea of having so many kids so that the colonialists could have more farm workers and more people to work for them? That's why they were insisting that we needed to have more kids. Have you noticed how a lot of people who keep telling guys, oh, we need to have a lot more kids and populate the world and the earth and do everything, they don't have more than 2 children? Why are you the one doing the population? If they're so concerned, they have the money to take care of the 20 children. They're not having the 20 children. They have 2. Why are you feeling the need to be the one to take the mantle to populate the world? You don't have to. If they won't do it, you don't have to do it either. So what's the obsession with this number? I'm very, very curious. Anyway, that's it for that particular topic. Let's listen to Pandeile by Saru.
Shout out to Vince on the beat, by the way. Dear ex, ni mimi mresh. Leo utashtuka sana, juu itakuja kama text. Naona kwako uko sawa na mi kwangu unani mess. Na off-left, meni stress, kwangu kila siku ni case. Unanipigia, mbona unanikasia? Kwanza naomba itoke siku nisike tu umedisappear. Alafu sikiza my dear, au mademu nakatia, po maskani nkipitia. Sifa wanakuharibia, papara, punguza, soon utaparara, kukuru, kakara, natafuta madhara. Futa bamba tena kwanza ukipata ogopa muhadhara ataki kani yako sitaki, hujapewa umenusa, ushatangazia umati. Sengi kucheki na kupimia na manati, upigwa moja pa kichwa katikati. Peleka pande ile wapi kule peleka pande ile wapi kule wapi ile peleka pande ile wapi unaanzaje kunikatia? Hebu soja funga njia kwanza, get out of here. Kama uko na ex kando yako na nakutupia macho kana hey you make a clap now. Uko na ex or my ex na vex kwa hii place kana hey you make a clap now. Nimepost mwenzako mimi niko coast kuna piga tu matos na kona chali mdos. Niko pa pot ndo nimekujia hii post mkopi ni wapige tosh tell him this is his loss. Peleka pande ile wapi kule peleka pande ile wapi kule peleka pande ile wapi kule.
Big shout out to Vince on the beat, by the way. From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
I just wanted to say thank you for spending your Monday with me. Hata usingizi imepotea. It's like I can go become a productive citizen of this country because, hey, the way the tax are set up, it's like like right now we work for the nation. We don't even work for ourselves. The most you can do is ukishajilipia nyumba ujinunulie chakula. Hata si ati a lot of meals. Ukikula mara moja kwa siku, the rest goes to the government. It's like, yay, we have to work hard because the MPs need to cushion themselves against the hard times we are living in. What? Anyway, it's true. Kenyans, tunakuanga na hiyo tabia. Our coping mechanism is laughter. Even when things are terrible, we just try and make jokes. Unaona, hiyo ndo tabia mbaya. Tabia mbaya tumezoea. Thank you so much for spending your day or your mid-morning with Moa. I appreciate you and I'm grateful that you decided to spend your time here. I'll see you back here on Wednesday as we celebrate International Poetry Day. We'll have some amazing ladies in the studio, some amazing poets, and we will be spotlighting them when, you know, the way we usually do spotlighting. Remember to also join Jagero and Ochuka on Wednesday morning for Power Breakfast. Remember to also follow us on social media at Power Radio. That is PAWA Radio. We are available on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. What's the other one? I've forgotten one. Twitter. Yes. That's the one I forgot. I was your host, or I am your host on She Talks on Power Radio. My name is Muthoni Gitau. I am Muthoni Gitau on all platforms. I'll see you on Wednesday. Here is Biashara.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Yes. You have to flip it. 20 Biashara, boss. Okay. Mina Biashara, close in tada. Flow so tight as Chris Cantata. Young in pala, ass like Prada. Na kama wezi shikanisha basi weni fala. Basi weni fala. Mina enda pale kila kitu dola. President Moi Kibaki wanahola. Naonesha kidole pole. Tubo kubwa kama Rick Ross. Pesa zetu munafanyia what? Kazi kwa vijana, pesa kwa maboss. Wacha kuwa floss.
Power Radio. Tune in and power
Many
up.
faces, many races.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio. Your kind of music, all day, all night. Right here on your only station. Radio. Power Radio. And power up.
20 Biashara, boss. Okay. Mina Biashara, close in tada. Flow so tight as Chris Cantata. Young in pala, ass like Prada. Na kama wezi shikanisha basi weni fala. Basi weni fala. Mina enda pale kila kitu dola. President Moi Kibaki wanahola. Naonesha kidole pole. Tubo kubwa kama Rick Ross. Pesa zetu munafanyia what? Kazi kwa vijana, pesa kwa maboss. Wacha kuwa floss. Ati wasanii wata get ganji 2030. Nitakuwa 54 made under that. Yes. Bere tamo huko ashati ya kaki. Check karatasi. Kareke. Yeah. Kareke. Mini STL the bigger, the better. IMC on the mic, come tester. Hii biashara ni ka M-Pesa. Wesen, utarisi. Na ka usend, sikuski. Biashara ne, biashara. Ukinyona hawe niye dige hara. Ukinyona hawe niye dige hara. Ukinyona hawe niye dige hara. Biashara ne, biashara. Biashara ne, biashara. Biashara ne, biashara. Ukinyona hawe niye dige hara.
Biashara niko busy na mziki ndo wanigwizi. Na flungine maji utadhani gidi. In other words niko tena jaba. Junilisikia pia kukula main swag. From the business land, Nairobi to be specific. Crew cat popos, not changa illicit. River Road baby, that's where you gonna find me. I be getting my money fast, calling people hadavani. Niko na M-Pesa cooperative, niko na equity. Pesa ni mingi nimevisha so many na publicity. Paparazzi piga mapicha then tuzione BPC. Dashika mamita busy mejipa juu nimesign na DTP. Biashara baby, what it do, Miss Stella? I'm the man with the power, so I make you feel like Cinderella. And I'm making the shower, so hope you got your umbrellas. Always be a shower, baby Stella, go ahead and tell him.
Biashara ne, biashara. Ukinyona hawe niye dige hara. Ukinyona hawe niye dige hara. Ukinyona hawe niye dige hara. Biashara ne, biashara. Biashara ne, biashara. Biashara ne, biashara. Ukinyona hawe niye dige hara.
Nikiwa na STL suna geography walikali. Jumupenda kuchiugamu unaweza nipata hali. Assalamu alaikum, walaikum salam. Mi upenda M-Pesa, pesa pap na M-Shwari. Hasla ambayo pildo kama ndizi. Mi pick and peel, uyu boy sini mjuisi. Easy, flow cheesy kama tiba. Na ziko on point ka Abdu Badida. Biashara leta pesa weka deo kwenye mkeka. Mina leta heka flow natika Professor Christoph ndo anatesa. Kila time weka pressure pima na tape mesha kula Ethiopia na poebesha. Anapenda Rose na yesi amba. Ni kama vindio uneza dhani ni mkamba. Biashara ndo miulamba. Pesa imenifanya mweupe squeezy ka pamba.
Biashara ne, biashara. Ukinyona hawe niye dige hara. Ukinyona hawe niye dige hara. Ukinyona hawe niye dige hara. Biashara ne, biashara. Biashara ne, biashara. Biashara ne, biashara. Ukinyona hawe niye dige hara.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Many faces, many races. I've come through many places, but I never seen a sky so blue. My mind and so free and so whole, yeah. But I never seen a sky so blue.
Yo, giddy maji, yeah. And the 6 SA Groove Machine, come on, D-Rex, one. Tunda na mi Ilega inego wato ok nege Imaka kimako wato ok make Nene, yote kwa lo pesa wa ebengi Intame, aneko kibithoko uko taya Maji tapo shine Pile katache, kakelo no watch mara Dierka himo 44 Tida winjo kaluora, olo mi amor Ping tine uor, gochonge pinyi lem Yesu, Lion of Judah Nene, maricho mase timoneji Tobene wena, aher ngata wenga Katita loke Judas ma Iscariot
Many faces, many faces, yeah. I've come through many places, yeah. But I never seen a sky so blue. My mind and so yeah. Free and so whole, yeah. But I never seen a sky so blue.
With your pinky to my phone, I go miss a can. Maracora to wena, me a can. Cheno manya sa en mana, niki kalal. Anginga, tawenga, nena kakachal. Cheno manya sa en mana, niki kalal. Para donje wia, kaneno gigingia. Nikata tim nanade, meto donje wia.
Many faces, many faces. I've come through many places, but I never seen a sky so blue. My mind and so free and so whole, yeah. But I never seen a sky so blue. Many faces, many faces, yeah. I've come through many places, yeah. But I never seen a sky so blue. My mind and us got so
Giddy giddy maji maji giddy giddy maji. Badala ya wizi nashika MIC kama 2PSC MC kutoka Kenya jo.
Ayo, nani atasema tia tujafika na siku hizi tunasikika Afrika.
Nawakilisha, natisha, nabisha left right yani kulia kushoto staki msoto.
Yani ndiyo maana siku hizi tuna rock out kutoka Cairo yani mpaka Cape Town.
Many faces, yeah. I've come through many places, yeah. But I never seen a sky so
giddy giddy maji maji giddy giddy maji maji.
And so yeah. Free and so yeah. But I never seen a sky so
giddy giddy maji maji giddy giddy maji. Many faces, yeah. I've come through many places, yeah. But I never seen a sky so giddy giddy maji maji giddy giddy maji maji. And so yeah. Free and so yeah. But I never seen a sky so giddy giddy maji maji giddy giddy maji. Many faces, yeah. I've come through many places, yeah. But I never seen a sky so giddy giddy maji maji giddy giddy maji maji. And so yeah. Free and so yeah. But I never seen a sky so blue.
Power Radio.